Welcome back, guys.
How's it going, everyone?
Moving minds.
Moving minds.
We have another great week ahead of us.
Yeah.
And it was a great weekend as well.
It was it's always a crazy weekend, isn't it, dude?
Yeah, man. It's been good. Luke is over here not paying attention to the camera. He doesn't care. Doesn't care if the camera's on. He's just looking at the poster. So they're pretty nice posters. I mean, I may say so myself.
I want to, take a little credit on the,
it's all your design for sure.
The position I was playing. All grace to God. Thank you guys for joining us here on Movie Minds again, you guys, where you guys can find your source of movie news every Monday or Tuesday, depending.
Yeah, it's Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
And so you guys should just join us and take a seat at the table, and we'll talk and ramble about stuff.
Yeah, that's right, man. So how was your weekend, though? Was it good?
It was cool, man. Nothing to complain.
Good over here as well. So let's get into it, man.
All right. Well, as we always start, we're going to go ahead and go into Out of the Box.
Out of the Box. Here we go. Number 5, we have Bram's The Boy 2. It's a terror movie. It's a one of those horror movies. It's a new one. It did horribly.
It looked horrible.
It did horribly. Not only did it just make only $6 million, but it also did about 9% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. So it was really bad for The Boy. Sorry about that. They're STX Films, the studio. I'm sure they're going to be losing some money there. And then at number 4, we have Will Smith and Martin Lawrence again with the Bad Boys for Life. Raking in another 6.8 million to its 192 million. And at 3, we have Birds of Prey with Margot Robbie underperforming, obviously, with another 8 million, attacking its total to about 74 million now. And so it's losing quite a bit of money still. It's not making it back. At number 2, we have Harrison Ford with The Call to the Wild. Now, this is a movie that I did get to watch.
Sweet.
We'll talk about it a little bit more in depth.
I think you got Duke's attention right there.
Yeah, Call to the Wild. Yeah. And it made 14.2 million. I don't know how much the movie was made for. I should probably check that. But it made 14.2 million. And at number 1, we have Sonic the Hedgehog with 31.5 million, tagging to its $112.5 million that it's doing. Now, I know this film seems like it's doing really well, and it is to a certain degree. However, it's still losing money. It still hasn't made its money back.
Yeah, from which one? The Sonic?
Due to the fact that they had to go back to the drawing board.
Yep.
And fix that Sonic, and it just cost a lot more money, and it'll cost a lot more marketing, because if they fixed it on the CG side of it, but then they had to go and market it as well. They already marketed it once before.
Yep.
So you can see how much the money
they had to put in some money behind that. Just to save it, just to make sure that they have a future with the franchise, because it is getting accepted critically. I think it has a future. There's a future for it. They can't spend the same money again, but there's a future for it. For sure.
I think because of Jim Carrey, though. I think Jim Carrey's a standout in the movie from what I'm understanding. But hey, 31.5 ain't too shabby for its second week out. But let's get into the Call of the Wild.
Yeah. So I was asking which movie right now when you said that, because I thought you were talking about Call of the Wild. Apparently, its budget was around 125 million.
Yeah, I was thinking it was somewhere up there.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking. I wanted to see, what were your thoughts on it? It looks like Disney was really pushing. Was it Disney? Is it Disney? I'm not sure. It might have been something else.
It is Disney. It is Disney. 20th century Disney. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically Fox.
So Fox.
It used to be Fox.
Right.
Now it's Disney.
It was probably already in production by the time it was.
But you can feel the Disney in it, though. You could feel the Disney in it.
So I wanted to see. I mean, I know that they're not making their money back right now, but overall, your thoughts?
Overall, I went to go see this movie. I picked the movie because of Harrison Ford. Obviously, I'm a big Harrison Ford fan. And so I can see why the movie cost $125 million to make. the dogs, everything that you see on the commercials for this movie, they're all CG.
Just like this dog right now. He's really not here. It's
look.
all CGI.
Oh, look.
We blow all our money from revenue.
These glasses I have on, I don't have them on.
Yeah, we're all CGI as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we're in the living room right now, chilling. Anyway, but this movie, you can see the amount of CG that they put into it, only because right off the bat, I mean, you don't get to see Harrison Ford until the middle of the movie.
No way.
Yeah, so maybe about an hour passes in the movie, and that's when Harrison Ford comes out.
Wow, so it's really about the dog.
Yes, it's completely about the dog.
Wow.
I mean, then it's about also the dog and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
The story, I like the story quite a bit in the beginning and how they started it off. You know, you get to know this dog and his journey, and you know his hardships and you know situations that he falls into, and he meets this family in some part of Antarctica or Alaska, one of those places I don't remember, but they deliver mail. And so he has to be one of those those husky dogs pushing.
They're sled dogs, right?
Sled dogs, exactly. And so it takes you through a journey like of that, and then this movie is very sectionalized. So there's one part of it in the beginning, there's another one in the middle, and then there's a third act, and even a fourth. And so it's really what you think and how you love these kind of movies. If it's for you, if it's not, you have to suspend disbelief a bit when you go and watch this movie. So there's definitely that. You go and watch it and you say, wow, that was impossible. So, and things like that. But you do love Harrison Ford in it because he comes off as the hero. He comes off as the you know, the wisest old guy in that city, or in that, you know, in where they were at. And so you just love him in the character. It is a tearjerker as well. So just be ready for that. Would I recommend it? I definitely would. I give it a 3.5 out of a 5. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And you guys should go watch it and support the movie.
Let me ask you a question. Sure. Did you watch Togo? Have you watched
I have not watched it
on Disney Plus?
I watched the beginning of it, and I didn't finish it just because of doing
I wanted to ask you, what did you like more? Because Togo is pretty much about a sled dog.
So they compared this movie to Togo. And from all the reviews, Togo just blows this movie out of the water.
Yeah, because I really enjoy Togo. Like,
I gotta watch it.
I actually watched it twice.
Did you?
Yeah, I've watched it twice.
I gotta watch it. I watched the beginning and it was interesting. I just haven't gone back to it.
Willem Dafoe has like this charm to him. Like, he's a jerk, but like you like him. You know?
He's just,
and the pup version of the dog in this movie in Togo is just great. I loved it.
I gotta check it out. Yeah, but they compared this movie to Togo, so
gotcha.
So it's definitely, you know, one of those comparisons in movies, especially because Disney Plus is a streaming service with a movie that is better than actual motion picture that's coming out of the theater.
There's a lot of Disney's priorities.
But yeah, man, it was really good.
That's great. Let's move on to the next with Hot Tops. We talk about the biggest topics of the movie industry, and we have some to talk about. Some of you guys have seen our Instagram post about Batman, and we wanted to show you a leaked image. And there's an actual video reel of a Batcycle, Batcycle, and a full Batsuit.
Bicycle. We're taking
Bicycle. And then a full Batsuit as well, as it's not really what's his name? I believe
it isn't Robert Pattinson.
No, it's not Robert Pattinson's himself. It's a stunt double.
Right.
But you see a full image of Batman.
Correct.
So let me ask you, man, what in the world are they thinking with allowing people to see this? Do you like it? First off,
right?
Yeah.
I saw the image and I really like it. I really like the suit. I really think that the suit is very, very well detail oriented. It's very detailed. I can see the little attention to details that they put in the suit. I love when they do that because they actually, put some thought on what this suit was actually going to look like before it was put on. And so I love it. I love the thing. If I would have any kind of quarrels with it, it would be probably in their forearm and her sleeve. I see a bunch of little spikes, little needles kind of coming out. I don't necessarily know what they are. They might serve a really cool purpose and make me change my mind about it. But that's the only thing that I didn't like about the suit. Everything else I thought was really cool. And absolutely, right off the bat that it's not Robert Pattinson, that one that's wearing the suit. Yeah, but yeah, I did like the suit. What did you think about the suit?
So I hate the suit.
Really?
I hate the suit. This is totally night and day from what I thought it was gonna appear. I just feel like it looks really low budget. It looks like they just really didn't put a lot of attention. I know that maybe CGI will add a cape because that's what they did with Christopher Nolan's Batman. And if you remember Christopher Nolan's Batman images being leaked, like it looked good. It looks very accurate. Maybe that's because accurate to what the version of the movie that we got. But if you see this one, it looks, I don't know. I maybe that's how they're meant it to see. But like I don't like it. I don't like the bike that he's on, the bicycle.
I don't like the bicycle.
The Batcycle. I don't really I hate it.
The Batcycle. The Batcycle. Hallelujah.
Batcycle.
The Batcycle looks like an old motorcycle from back in the day. And they souped it up a little bit. But I like the suit. I like it's kind of the squareness, not necessarily Justice League Batman suit, but it has kind of like a resemblance, and also I think it's in the middle. And also remember, guys, this is not supposed to be seen. This suit wasn't supposed to be seen.
I can't believe they allowed it
or pictures of. So remember that in the movie they might add certain things to make it look cooler with CG. And it might change. And obviously, we're going to have Robert Pattinson. And I'm a firm believer that if we don't like something in the beginning, if you act your little butt off in that suit, it actually turns into the greatest suit sometimes because of
you're right. So. You're absolutely right. I could tell that, that the story is probably going to be really good with the actors that they've chosen.
I think so.
And the only thing that I could just kind of like the saving grace of this is that my theory from last episode about them, or the news that I kind of heard, that this is going to be about year 2 Batman, that it could actually, this means that it's right, that it looks low budget because he was just starting off. And he has a motorcycle that looks like he just asked his buddy down the street to fix up.
Right.
Like all these different low budgetness to the suits and to the gear may indicate that it is an origin story of the second year of Batman. So that might make sense. And I think it'll maybe help the story out. The story will redeem this. If the story is about year 2,
right? Yeah,
in my opinion,
for sure. And what was the other question we had? Also, you asked another one before we got into the suit.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Yeah, but the actual suit though in itself, it's great. About why were these photos leaked?
Okay, yeah. Like I don't get it.
What I think
this is too much of a risk.
What I think can happen too, though, sometimes is misdirection. Also, there could be some misdirection.
It's a lot of misdirection.
It would be, but it's a big character. So I know movies that have done it. That they want to misdirect on certain things, and they do certain things to make you think one thing, but it's another. I'm not saying that's what had happened, but usually they have a pretty good lockdown, especially for how big this movie is. When they do something, and they obviously know that the media is everywhere, and they get tipped, and the paparazzi get tipped by people that work in the actual movie, And so they know where they're at and they take the pictures, and that's how it happens. And so for this company or whoever, what studio it is for the new Batman, I'm not sure exactly what studio is doing it. Or Fox. It's really strange to me that they didn't take precautionary for it. It actually really surprises me that they didn't.
It really does too.
Those pictures shouldn't be out there.
I'm sorry, it's not Fox, it's Warner Brothers. My apologies.
So,
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys like the full version of the Batsuit? Do you like the bicycle?
The bicycle, the Batcycle.
Batcycle. Let us know. Hit us up. So let's go on to the next one, which is a little bit less pleasant news.
It's a little touchy. It's a little
touchy, and I think everyone's going to be on the same page on this, but we're not. This is the biggest news right now, and we want to talk about it. Yeah. So Harvey Weinstein, the guy that's been in the media for 2 years, after a few dozen women have come out and stated that they were sexually assaulted and raped, unfortunately, has come out and the verdict is out. Yeah. He's done for.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy, and I'm sure you guys all know the story. Harvey Weinstein was the movie mogul that would basically lure the actresses into his hotel and talk to them about giving them a role in their big budget movie. Yeah, and so some of these actresses involve Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie. The list goes on and on. And once you get the sense of what Harvey Weinstein has done while you go through the rabbit hole on YouTube, you'll realize that this guy was a predator, and he was someone that would take advantage of people's vulnerabilities. And obviously, you want to be in a movie, any one of us, they would tell you, hey, you're going to be in the new Batman. It would be a very, very attractive proposition. And so that's the way that he would lure women. And so a lot of these women came up front, and now he's getting prosecuted, and he was found guilty. And it would have been really, really it would have been a really big statement going towards our judicial system if that guy would have gone free. First of all, because of all the evidence that was out there.
Absolutely. And there was no way that the jury, of course, a lot of people know about the case. It was on, it's probably one of the top 2-3 stories of the last 2 to 3 years. And of course, the jury is going to, they were gonna choose this. Some may say that they were biased, but to be quite honest with you, when over 100 women, I just read that over 100 women come over and speak up, thanks to the Me Too movement, the hashtag Me Too movement, which is of course it's more than just a hashtag, but it empowered a lot of women and men too on other sides to actually really come out and speak up. And I don't think it was a biased decision. I truly believe that this is it. This is something that that the guy, he thought he was going to get away with, and as many people with power do think that. And when some people, 1 or 2 people, come out and talk about uncomfortable things that even may shame themselves to brings change. And that's what happened here. And I applaud every single person, every woman that went up and stood up for their sister, and I am just so glad that justice has been served today. He hasn't been sentenced just yet, but he has been, the verdict is in, and that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that there is a sense for these women to actually get some vindication and his guilty verdict. And so I'm glad that those women can feel at least at ease that a predator like that is not on the streets, and obviously not being put in power the way that he was. And so that we have more people out there that are giving people opportunities to be in movies the correct way and the right way. This also goes for the women to also know that kind of a personality, or that kind of behavior, and recognize it and be able to walk out right away and not put yourself in those positions. And so I think it's important we all learn something from this moving forward for even the people that were put in that position,
men and women, right? Because I think that something very similar has been, not exactly what he did, but there's other abusing.
And so we're going to want to get into it. The Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard situation. A lot of it, in the beginning with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. We know Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean, The Tourist, you Blow, the movie, and the list goes on. And then we know Amber Heard as an upcoming actress, very, very pretty actress that she's been in Aquaman, and she's been in Pineapple Express, and she's been in all these upcoming movies that are pretty big budgeted. And so they Amber Heard and Johnny Depp got married. After a while, the honeymoon ended, and so the allegations of Johnny Depp being a woman, a domestic violence of abusing Amber Heard. Amber Heard came out with some bruises on her eye, and just saying that she had gotten beaten by Johnny Depp. Right. But the tide has changed in that story. So
and I see that there was some proof that that's not the case. And so, it just goes to show you, everyone is susceptible to abuse and to being taken advantage of. Yeah. And you have to speak up for yourself. And I applaud these women. Apparently there were 6 women that testified during this trial, and I applaud them for coming up, retelling their story, which must have been extremely hard. And I'm glad that like men like Johnny Depp, which he's a human being too, no matter whether he's a male or whatever, he also hopefully he comes with justice as well. And so
and that's right now people are petitioning to get Amber Heard out of the Aquaman 2 movie, because what happened, guys, is that she said that Johnny Depp was beating her, but it turned out to be that actually Amber Heard. There's a lot of audio. There hasn't been any kind of, judge setting that it's been telling, that all this information is in, but we know it because all the audio's on YouTube, and it's her. You can tell. So this is not fake news or anything. This lady had a behavioral health problem, and she was basically abusing Johnny Depp. And I'm sure that in one of those altercations, Johnny Depp got crazy too, I'm sure. But probably out of self-defense. And so Amber Heard went down to the point where she would tell her how she would frame him, telling him no one will believe you.
I've never heard of
no one will believe you.
The audio files. So.
And you'll lose your career. And in fact, Johnny Depp did lose the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Oh, really?
They kicked him out of that. They kicked him out of that. And because of everything that had come out and all this, that Amber Heard came out, because she came out on the media, paparazzi, bruise in her eye, acting like, Johnny Depp was the devil himself. And so now with this new audio, it paints Amber Heard in a horrible light. And I'll tell you guys this right now. They're doing this petition to get her out of the Aquaman 2. Not that they're going to do it, but it would be stupid of the studios for them not to get her out. It's going to affect their bottom line at the end of the day. But man, I mean, it's crazy what's going on. Look, guys, these people are regular people. I mean, they're movie stars, and they have a ton of money. But as soon as you get to a point with money where you could just buy everything, you get to just be a human being, and you have the same problems that we have here with your wife or with your friend or with your family, and they have the same things going on there. And so it's crazy what Amber Heard did. I'm actually really surprised at the girl, because I really actually enjoyed her in Aquaman too. And I enjoy her acting, but it turns out that she's a Looney Tune, man.
Well, there's a lot of mental health issues out in society, and I think Harvey Weinstein is part of it. I mean, he's definitely he gave into his illusion of being able to have the power over these other people, whether they're women or not. Yeah, and that is unacceptable nowadays, especially that we are living in a society that's so interconnected that you don't stand alone. We're not alone, even if it's only us two. We stand with others, and it's very healthy for everyone to know that. Even you're watching this right now, you are not alone, and you could stand again with your brother or your sister.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in this whole thing, if they take her out or in, or what happens with Johnny Depp, but we'll keep you guys updated for sure.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up with another story that's it's along the same lines of equal rights, and there's a lot of sticking up for each other lately, and Kevin Feige. Reports have been leaked, through interviews and through Mark Ruffalo, actually, stating how Kevin Feige almost left the MCU back around the time where the original Avengers came out, and it was due to this. When the first Avengers came out, Kevin Feige told me, which Mark Ruffalo is explaining, listen, I might not be here tomorrow. And he was going to talk to Disney about the issue of why there were no female superhero movies, which they had been discussing while preparing for Thor. And he's like, anyway, he says that he does not believe that anyone will go to a female starring superhero movie. Mm-hmm. So if I am still here tomorrow, you will know what I won that battle. So Kevin Feige is saying that, there's some people in the leadership of Disney, or that were in the leadership of Disney, that actually truly believe that no one was going to go watch a superhero, a female superhero led film. And boy, were they wrong, because Captain Marvel did amazing. It did $1 billion. First off, it's not the first superhero film that is female led, but it definitely is the first one for Marvel. So Kevin Feige sticking up. Yeah. And in Wonder Woman, of course, that's actually the first, I believe. Oh, no, Elektra back in the days. Anyway.
I don't know if that made very good.
It wasn't really good.
I think it did pretty horrible.
Yeah, for sure.
But then we have Birds of Prey. Remember that, though, too.
Well, now we do. But back then, during the first Avenger, they were Kevin Feige was really sticking up for this, specific goal of the MCU, which is his baby, really. Mm-hmm. And for him and having the ability to fight for equal rights and diversity, it's great to see that, Kevin Feige went up for that. What's your thoughts on
the MCU? Without Kevin Feige would be basically, I don't think it would be as good. Obviously, we'd have the same actors, but different direction. And so, if he wants to do all women film, let the man do whatever the heck he wants. Because it's not about women, it's not about men, it's about story, It's about plot.
Absolutely.
It's about direction. And this guy, he has that thing tenfold. I mean, this guy has proven himself over and over and over again for Disney to, let him or even there be some kind of window for him to leave Disney. They should be quaking in their boots, because that means they're losing money with this guy.
And they did. They quaked in their boots, because they definitely gave it to him. They definitely, succumb to that. But it's more so like I get what you're saying. Like, okay, well, it's not about like whether who has the right or not, whether it's story. And I would say that there was a time in history where there was women did not have a say on things, and different races didn't have say in things. And I believe that, with change requires a lot of intention. And I just think that this is a good move towards that, towards a more of equal, playing ground. And I totally agree. I don't want them to go into a story and just like not have a goal for it. I don't want them to go into a story like Captain Marvel and there's like really no specific point. Granted, I didn't like Captain Marvel.
It was horrible,
and I don't think there was a specific purpose other than to bring a extremely powerful hero. But I think it was not handled very well. Anyway, but I don't want them to do that. I'm really looking forward to Black Widow's execution, not the movie in itself, because I really don't care about it. It doesn't seem like it's very impactful to the story, but I do want to see the execution of Scarlett Johansson and the directors to see how the characters are. Very big difference. I'm not looking forward to the movie. I'm looking forward to the execution of it.
And that's
because it would say a lot to see if they could really pull off a story with a character that's not like a big fan favorite. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people love Scarlett Johansson.
If they can do the Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Exactly. If they could do that and they could build another sub like team like the comics do, comics do this all the time. If they could do that again and on the big screen, man, I'm down for it.
I mean, they're trying to do it again with the Eternals, and I'm sure they're gonna succeed.
They're gonna kick that off.
They're gonna the Eternals guys. I think it's gonna be really, really good.
That's gonna be the highlight of this year. Watch.
Me too. I can't wait. You're right, Ish. Look, I don't want them to just be coming up with women superhero movies just because they're like, we don't have enough superhero women out there because of some kind of equal right thing. Look, I'm all for equal rights, and I believe that women should get the same opportunities, absolutely, with no question. However, I don't believe that we're just going to be making stories up and making them mediocre just for it to fit someone's narrative or fit someone's purpose of just, oh well, we want to seem like, you know, we're a company that loves women and that makes movies for them.
Right.
I don't want the studios to have that mindset. I wanted to have always the mindset as
story first.
That story is amazing. And if it happens to be all women, then that's what it is. If it happens to be all dogs, then that's what it is. If it happens to be Mexicans, Christians, whoever, the story, the story is great, then you make the movie and you make it and you involve the best people like Kevin Feige to direct the direction that the movie's going, because he's able to pick director and also give you actors who can play those parts. I've seen him do it in interviews. I've seen him doing like, hey, you know, I really thought that he'd play a great Thor. I thought whatever. Yeah, he's just one of those great people. Anyway, needless to say, that's what I think about the whole.
Yeah, I think they need to get Michelle Chow from The Mandalorian, the one that directed some of the episodes of The Mandalorian and is co-producer of The Mandalorian. They need to get that lady into whatever she wants, man. She needs to like lead some great like universe building series, whether it's Marvel or Disney, whatever it is, man. I will watch anything she has.
Guys, I'm going back to Mandalorian season all the time just to watch my favorite episodes. I'm telling you,
which is hers.
Yeah, probably almost every other night. I just go back and watch an episode of my favorite parts. It's just amazing. Women are just as talented as men when it comes to making movies. So there's no question. We thank all the women out there for what they do for us in movies. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, that's the wrap. That is everything for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Please like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification because we're posting almost every day now.
Yes.
And please check us out on Instagram, Facebook, on Twitter too. I'm like tweeting out random stuff on there and getting into like movie fights with people on Twitter. It's fantastic.
you guys can check me out at Ant Movies on Instagram. You know, check us out, Movie Minds, guys. If you have any kind of disagreement with what we said, we hit some pretty crazy points today. You guys drop it in the comment section. Let us know. Maybe we are wrong. Maybe you guys will make us change our mind about a certain subject that we feel really strongly about. We never know. Okay. We thank you guys for joining us. And again, like always, stay
movie minded.
Movie minded.
Word.
Yeah.